All right, estamos en vivo.
Ladies and gentlemen, half-ass rappers, true rhyme sayers, pimps and players, the rapture is upon us.
Rap.
Nirvana is upon us. Neymar is a Parisian, man. Like, I'm just gonna let's
Get
start off the pod. Neymar is a fucking Parisian.
let's start off the pod trying to get the dealer of whoever sold Toast and that good shit because Neymar is not anywhere.
Bro, dog, this is not dude, this is Nasir. This is Nasir season, bro. This is Halafi season. I'm just letting you know, bro. He got hitters out there, man. And the streets of Paris, it's gonna be the most lit place in dog. It's just the
Yo, that
football world, bro, and just Europe. Seriously, Paris is about
that
to be the
that
spot. I'm just saying.
that gram was there. Like that.
Did it? But like, didn't today kind of like wasn't that like a step backwards in the Neymar PSG saga, right?
Dude,
Technically, yes,
it's all damage control from the Barca board. Trust my source, man.
All right.
I'm telling you, it's all just
but he played and he scored 2 goals and he celebrated and all that. You know.
so Ronaldo celebrated against Hull in 2009 after the season before we sold him the fucking in his first game back after that, Ballon d'Or winning season,
Yeah.
you know, intimating that he wanted to leave. These things happen, man. He's just giving Barca fans this lasting memory, you know.
Honestly, I don't know because I mean, 2 days ago, I think the rumor started like 3, 4 days ago, and at first I was obviously like, BS. Neymar is just trying to get a renewal or any of that stuff. And then hours went by, the days went by, and things are getting serious. You have sources that are very close to the PSG board that are reporting that it's practically done. And pretty much every reliable source that I trust reported the news. So I was like, wow, this is gonna be possibly the second biggest transfer of all time, maybe after Ronaldo's to
Okay, wait,
Madrid.
Abdul, answer me this question: How
Yeah,
much, how much is this deal potentially worth?
500 million.
Who's stopping half a billy rolling through? Neymar? Really? Come on.
True. I mean, it's crazy.
Come on.
I mean, that's two
Come on.
20 million to the release clause, and
Dude's getting paid, bro. Like,
40 million a year. Is it 40 million a year salary?
yep. No, I think 30 mil after tax. But
But
that's
technically
insane.
40 mil before tax, which is yeah. So they're
Yeah.
still paying 40. It's just that he's getting taxed.
Shoot.
Um, and then you've got another. I think I heard something like 50, something crazy, just pocket money for his dad, pretty much like million. I can't
Yep.
remember the exact fee, but um, and everything should add up to around 500 million euros.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
I
It's
don't know.
insane.
It is. I think that I would rather have Ousmane Verratti and Mbappe than Neymar, but I mean that's not
Dude, how you finna say that?
what.
Man, get that weak sauce out of here, dude. Like, those
No,
dudes over this dude.
you
We
know how
talking
much.
I
about Neymar.
Zach, man, I can smell the tears, bro. Like, come
What do you mean?
on.
Bro, no. Look, nobody loves Neymar more than me. I mean, I love Neymar. He's like one of my favorite players, and I'll admit that he's the next best player in the world. Once the Messi era is over, he's gonna be number one, and that's that. I mean, we were talking about it on the last podcast. How like we don't really know. You said like you don't really know who the third best player is. I know. I mean, it's definitely Neymar. Come on, and I could honestly argue that he's the second best. But like, I think that I don't think that Barca are competent or daring enough to try to get Ousmane Verratti Dembele. And for me, that's honestly like I don't know. I guess I would probably take like one of Ousmane Mbappe and Verratti, but I don't trust
But
Barca to.
but the thing is, if PSG are paying, if Neymar is gonna cost PSG half a billion, they're not
It's not.
they're
They're
not
not.
gonna buy they're not gonna buy Neymar and sell you Verratti. Like
It's not
PSG,
happening.
if
And
they're gonna get
also,
Neymar, they're getting both. And Verratti's not leaving. I mean, that's good.
yeah, man,
Um,
talk about that Qatari money though.
I
They
mean,
really about to shell out 500, half a billy, bro. This is
Neymar,
yeah,
insane. This is
it's
insane.
I, that guy's just so powerful. I mean, he owns the biggest club in France right now. He owns um
This is a.
you know BN Sports, right? BN Sports.
Mhm.
That's his that's like the channels that are because all his and you're talking about a network that runs in Latin America, runs in Europe, runs in the Middle East. In
Yeah,
fact, dominates the Middle East. It literally has the rights for everything. I mean, the guy shits money. I mean, that's not an issue.
yeah.
it's crazy.
I mean,
But so like, what are we saying? Like, is Neymar staying or leaving? Just I want a prediction.
I genuinely believe he goes.
I
It's
think
all the financials. Surprisingly, that's the part that I thought would be, I guess, the most daring for PSG. How are they gonna, I guess, amass 500 million plus, euros
mhm.
for Neymar? And then I kind of read the details that apparently some Qatari bank has the funds already. That's insane, dude. Dog, these niggas is shitting money, bro. It's bro, this stuff is crazy. It's crazy to me.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
I mean,
I think
I
that
mean,
yeah. I don't see like another high profile transfer happening in the final weeks, honestly. I think
This
I
is a watershed moment in the
maybe,
history of the sport. This is landmark stuff. This is bigger than Ronaldo to Madrid. Straight up. Like seriously, it's that much bigger.
but what do PSG do if they don't get Neymar? Or what do PSG do if they do get Neymar? Do they buy anyone else? Do you think? There's
They get apparently Alexis is the second option. Is well, not the second option, but he's the second arrival.
there's no
Apparently,
way they're gonna afford Neymar and Alexis though.
but
well,
don't you see how
apparently,
they're doing it though? Okay, so
they're- yeah,
apparently, oh wait, just give me a sec. Vitolo, remember Vitolo? He went to Atleti.
yeah,
He had like a 34 million euro release clause,
Yeah.
yeah.
apparently something like that, something in that region. And Atleti gave him the money to pay to Sevilla, and Sevilla just let him go. I think that's the same thing PSG are trying to work out with Neymar,
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
so that financial fair play doesn't come in the works. That does not affect them as a club.
So they're literally gonna what? I mean, put 220 million in his bank account to activate the clause. Like,
mean, look, I mean, any Barca fan that honestly, any Barca fan that says like they're not going to miss Neymar, like fuck Neymar, is lying to themselves. Like, I mean, Neymar is this club's only hope after Messi. He really is. So I mean,
And if you're Neymar, don't you feel like this is the right move? What do
why?
you say to that?
I don't think
Okay, you're
no.
you're 25 in the prime of your life.
And
The
you're gonna go
player above
to league to like for what? I mean, are you? I don't think
no,
you're gonna win
chill.
PSG though.
But you're in the prime of your career. You've won everything there is to win in Spain. You've learned from these 4 years, these past 4 years, you've learned from the greatest player of all time. But you know in the back of your mind that this is his club. It'll always be Messi's club, and there's no denying that. You have the talent, you have the capacity to become an all-time great yourself, and by creating your own legacy. The players before you in Brazil, the Kakas, the Ronaldos, the Ronaldinhos, they all had their own team, where a team was built around them. You have to follow the Brazilian, the Brazilian way, let's call it that. What do you say to that? Because that's really just how I feel about this.
I think that, I mean, look, the reason why Neymar has won everything there is to win is because of Lionel Messi. So, I mean, he's not going to, I mean, and he's gotten way more goals than he would have at any other club because of Lionel Messi. I honestly don't see Messi. I don't see the argument that Messi is like holding him back because look, Neymar is at worst the third best player in the world, and who will he be if he leaves for PSG? He'll be the third best player in the world. So I really, and I mean to leave Barca for if he does go to PSG, then France won't be a competitive environment anymore. Um, I mean, this is Neymar. This isn't just some scrub. I mean, I think that maybe there's the added challenge of finally providing a European trophy, but besides that, I really don't see. I don't
I
see the.
I think you make a really good point. I mean, I was just thinking about this. People talk about Neymar being this Messi's just playing second fiddle to
The
Messi.
side man,
But when you think about it, I mean, 99.99999% of footballers that ever existed would play second fiddle to Messi. So
Yeah.
first of all, that's not an insult. If that's not an insult in any way, at least in my view.
but his
Secondly,
talent. Oh, sorry, just finish.
yeah, I mean, secondly, first of all, like first of all, I want Neymar to leave. Obviously, like I'm a Real Madrid fan. It weakens Barca. I think if Neymar leaves, Barca are in. I mean, they're already in. I'd say they're already in trouble, but that's just next level trouble. Especially that their only long term plan is now gone. So there's literally nothing to build on the club if he leaves. But when you let's look at what Neymar leaving means, or the fact that he actually thought about leaving. What that means because Barca invested so much in Neymar. Let's not forget Barca broke the law to sign Neymar.
They did.
They actually
Yeah,
paid his
for
yeah,
Neymar. I mean,
yeah. I mean, they went to court. They went through a lot of illegal shit. They got a transfer ban. He sold the dream of taking over for Messi. Um, in the middle of all of the negativity that was around Barca over the last few months, I mean, uh, a lot of people. The only positive thing was, Messi's still there and Neymar is your long-term plans. He'll always have the next big thing, and that's always a positive. But and then now you're looking at Neymar. If he leaves, you're talking about a player that just renewed his contract, I think 5 or 6 months ago, and out of nowhere, he's just leaving. He knows that he's your
It's
long term
happened though.
plan, and you invested so much in him. He understands that. He's not dumb, obviously. And he's just leaving. He's leaving without warning you. He's leaving without giving you the time that you deserve, let's be honest, because you did invest a lot in him to rebuild for life after him or to replan. And this is possibly the worst Barca team since Pep came in, and he's leaving at the worst time, and he's not even giving the board a heads up. So honestly, I can understand why Barca fans are really pissed at him. If I was a Barca fan, I'd be livid.
I would be too. I mean, because Neymar hasn't done enough. I mean, he is the future, but we've invested more in him than he's invested in us. And I mean, I'm just so pissed at even if this doesn't go through, which I don't think it will, it's a disgrace how he's pushing for it and now he's not like hammering
Yeah,
down.
some damage, at least
What?
some damage has already been done. I think that's fair to say.
That is fact. He's kind of caused some. He's caused confusion amongst
Yeah.
Barca fan base. But Okay, you were talking about Neymar and his form, I guess, with Messi, that there's no shame in playing second fiddle to Messi. But my point is, he has a talent deserving of a team that he should lead. You know what I mean?
So does
Look
Alexis.
at
I agree. Yeah, I
So does
agree.
Alexis.
let's look at not what do you mean so does Alexis? Alexis is great, but he's not Neymar. Neymar is a
Yeah, I mean,
generational talent. We're talking about a generational talent. We're not talking about some world class player, here or
Okay,
there. He's more than
Neymar.
that.
Well, I mean, like, has
yeah, I'm
Neymar had,
Alexis can't. Yeah,
like,
sorry.
I mean, what Ronaldo did in the Champions League at, like, even though he was washed up, was more important than anything Neymar did. I do think that Neymar will end up as a legend, but I mean, I don't think that like he necessarily merits like. I mean, I just don't think that
What do you
you're.
mean? How do you say he doesn't merit it?
I just okay. Why? What does PSG add to his record? I mean, right now, I would say. I mean, I don't really know who the main man is at PSG. Maybe it's Thiago. Maybe it's Marco. Maybe it's Edinson Cavani. But I mean, Neymar would be main man at PSG if he does go. Uh, Alexis Sanchez. I mean, what's I don't see what's the big deal about
I'll tell
getting.
you. I'll tell you what this reminds me of. I think if he moves to PSG, that's I know I don't want to compare sports, but it's almost like when LeBron moved to Miami. Like everything that you do in the regular season, everything that you do in the East and the playoffs, everything that you do doesn't really matter until you play in the finals.
Yeah,
And for Neymar, it would be until you win the Champions League. So people will not care about what he does on a cold night in Lyon or what he does against, but what he does in the cup. People won't care that much about what he does in the group stages. I mean, it's all about what he can do to take them to that next level. Like he will be if he doesn't win a Champions League, for example, in his first 3 years, people will call him a flop, especially when he's
You're
costing
talking your
half a
sentiment.
billion.
Your sentiment is entirely from, I guess, a more European like view. You know what I mean?
sure.
Yeah,
Because people in Brazil, everyone in Brazil wants this move. The minute Neymar moves to Brazil, PSG becomes one of the hottest properties on the market. This is a big time move. This move is almost akin to how you talk about LeBron. This is an economically an economically massive move. It's gonna spur a lot of players, a lot of it's gonna turn a lot of heads in the media, and a lot of people are gonna want to come to PSG. And
which will make League even easier for Neymar to win.
Yeah. Look,
I'm not sure about that because with Ibrahimovic, obviously Neymar is better than Ibrahimovic, but with Ibrahimovic, he had 1 year where he won the league title in the most, I guess, in the easiest and the smoothest way possible. That's not the way. That's not how it's going to be. I feel with the present Ligue 1 teams because there are a lot of projects growing.
I'm
But
not a
yeah,
Ligue
I
1
do think
hater. Like
PSG.
I
No,
always
I'm not
defend
saying
the
you're
league
hating. I'm
actually.
not saying you're hating. I just think
Yeah,
I do think PSG will have it wrapped up if they have Neymar, but I don't think it'll be as
my point
smooth
is
as you say.
Champions Leagues, or if he's not at least all, because for Neymar, I'm not that harsh. I'm obviously not gonna be. I'm not an AD. I'm not gonna go and say okay, he has to win the Champions League every year. But now you're talking about a team that always lost in the quarterfinals. So what I want from Neymar is okay. I want you to be in the semifinals every year. If you can be in the semifinals every year and win them their first Champions League, then I'll look at your time at PSG as a success. Um, and
That's I
that's not an easy task. You know, that's not an easy task because
based
it's
on
really not.
person.
Just in terms of Champions League DNA, do they have that Champions League DNA? That's not easy.
Based on personnel, that's an easy. I think that's an easy proposition. You know, that's
That looked like an easy proposition in that team,
Mhm.
and they lost to Leon. So I I mean, long term, with the right coaching, with the right management, obviously that could turn into like something easier where the team always
I
makes the
hope Emery.
semifinals. Yeah,
Yeah, I hope Emery doesn't become the Pellegrini of this project.
yeah,
It's got to click from day one. Seriously. Um, but yeah.
yeah. I mean, honestly, I still don't think it will happen though. I
Yeah.
think it might be a bit too good to be true.
What'll stop it from happening?
But like, I
Right?
think Barca's board know that if Neymar leaves, that might be the nail in the coffin for them.
But at the same time, if Verratti leaves PSG, that's the nail in the coffin for PSG.
Yeah, but there's no way Verratti's leaving. Like he's
Well, then,
already about to
Verratti's not
renew.
leaving. He just changed. Nasser just forced him to change agents. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, so he probably knows that. I mean, from what I'd like to think is that
They're all
Nasser,
anticipating this move. The PSG players, they're all in the U.S. right now.
and I'm pretty sure Nasser knows Mino Raiola, and I'm pretty sure he told
Oh,
him,
he gave him Ibra.
yeah, he told him you better chill or I'll whoop your ass. Like you're not Marco's gonna renew, and you're not moving his ass anytime soon. So,
Yeah.
yeah, Verratti's staying at PSG for sure. I mean, not even like I'm not just saying that because I don't want him to go to Barca. I'm just being real.
but I feel like honestly, for the past 5 years since PSG had that crazy summer, like I feel like there's always been this kind of cloud of like illusions surrounding PSG. Like, oh, we think it's gonna be so good, but it ends up just disappointing. And like, remember
Yeah,
how they had the greatest performance of all time against Barca? They whooped them 4-0, and then Barca comes back and beats them 6-1. I just think that they still need. I mean, this Neymar, if they do get Neymar, that would be the move to, I think, to kind of reverse that, honestly, because he's proven in Europe, he's proven in Spain, he's proven internationally. It's the signing of the century if they do get him, honestly.
exactly. Signing of the century.
Yeah, I mean, the problem. I mean, the problem with PSG has always been, I would say, coaching
Mm-hmm.
and obviously just the overall mentality of the squad. I was never a big fan of uh, Blanc. I know Tosin liked him, but I was never a big fan of him. I think
Yeah.
he didn't give them the extra edge in big games, especially tactically. It's too predictable for other managers, especially in a tie where you need to. It's more
That's the
about
thing, though.
the X's and O's. Yeah,
That's the thing, though. His attempt at unpredictability cost him against City,
against City. Yeah, against City.
against 2016. Just plays a 3-5-2 out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just shocking stuff. But yeah.
And at the same time, Emery. I mean, they went for the. I guess they hired Emery because of his knockout. His knockout stage record, three straight Europa Leagues.
His European
Um,
news or Nous or something. Yeah.
but he's just not good enough. I mean, because he has a great record in the knockout stages doesn't mean that he can, first of all, coach the egos of those players and just coach a great team. I mean, Rafa had a great Rafa. First of all, Rafa is a great coach, and he had a great record in the knockout stages, but he didn't work at Real Madrid. I mean, it doesn't always work like that. So I just feel that PSG need like coach. They could get Neymar, and they might still because I mean, it's about the draw, right? You could get Neymar finish first in your group and win your round of 16 match, and then you might draw Real Madrid in the quarterfinals or Bayern, and you might lose again. So ultimately, you need a top coach, in my
It
opinion.
took it took a freak it took a freak 10 minutes for Emery to lose his first European tie in.
Because of Neymar.
Lord, how long? Yeah, and because of Neymar.
But no, I completely. Emery deserves all the slander for that because if you rewatch that game, that's not. It wasn't just freakish. They invited pressure from the first minute. They looked like pussies.
Apparently, Emery wanted his team to step up. He wanted his
So it was
defensive
the
model to
players.
push up. Apparently, one of the reports was El Capitan was telling the team to stay back, to stay about 20 or 40 meters.
El Capitan. What a
What a
Man,
biggest
it
pussy in
happens, man.
football.
Oh God,
Why
y'all some
did
hating
you why did
ass.
you say that? Like you knew we were gonna pounce on that. Why did you say it? Like
Nah, dude, I'm just furthering conversation. You know what I'm
I'm
saying?
about to search that up. I'm about to search that article up and I'm saving it in my bookmarks.
Cool. You taking current Jesus Vallejo or prime Thiago Silva? What do you say in my G?
I mean, Vallejo led his team to a cup final last season, so I know who I'm picking.
Yeah. Okay, but can I just say something about Neymar? Because
Yeah.
look, you guys remember his run of form early in 15-16?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It was I think they lost to Sevilla, but in that loss, Neymar was unreal. I hear people saying Neymar is ineffective against deep blocks. That is an absolute myth. Just shut the fuck up. You know nothing.
Mhm.
The weeks after he plays Rayo, Ibar, I think, and he was just throughout that whole month of October, November. He was just absolutely insane. Just his form, everything. The goal against Villarreal. Remember that goal? Oh, that goal was disgusting.
Mhm. No, I mean, as
Yeah.
let me say that. I mean, obviously losing Neymar would be a negative, would be a huge step backwards. But there's some
But
things.
don't you want to see that form rekindled?
But there are some good things about Neymar leaving, like not having all these trash Brazilians signed just to please Neymar, or having like Neymar's father.
Who are these trash Brazilians? We need names. We need names.
Okay, Rich, Robert, that was his name, I think. He signed for like half a season, then he left. Paulinho, that's one. Um, it goes on and on. Look, oh, Lucas Lima, Coutinho.
Is Lucas Lima ass? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Yeah. Like, I mean, none of them. Oh, no, okay, yeah, Lima, Paulinho, Coutinho. Look, honestly, if we have to spend, I know it sounds like melodramatic, but if we have to spend like more than 100 mil on Paulinho, Lima, and Coutinho for Neymar to stay, like, isn't that just as bad as Neymar leaving? Like, I mean,
He's basically bullied you. He's bullied the club.
yeah, fuck Neymar. Fuck Neymar's like drama. He's such a drama queen. I mean, I won't miss him. Also, I won't miss him going to Brazil for a week every like February to fuck his sister. Like, no, I won't miss that. I mean, look, I really hope Neymar stays, and I hope he does realize that it is the best choice for his career to stay. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
So now let's assume Neymar leaves, which is obviously a possibility. What do Barca do? I mean, who do they go after? They're gonna have 225 million in the bank.
That's a lot of money.
And knowing this board,
Not in today's market, you know. I mean, in today's market, that only gets you two top players, like
what?
two. If
No,
we're okay, if we're
No.
talking two world class players right now, like if we're talking big names, if you're gonna get, um, you can't get Verratti, but let's assume you can get Verratti and you can get someone else. Let's say
well,
Dembele, right?
we can't
You
get.
won't get Dembele for less than 100 million, and you won't get Verratti for less than 100 million. So that's your two top class players right there.
And
If
that's about okay. So at most, that's let's say 180. That's 80% of that 225
If we get okay, look,
already. So you have what 75 left. So that can get you three max, maybe three top class players.
okay, wait. If we spent the 222 wisely, then we could get the left back we so desperately need. We could get the controller we so desperately need. We could get the winger we need, and we could get the Neymar replacement we need. I mean, boom. I would
That's
be
what That's what Tottenham thought, and they signed bums.
no. I mean,
Uh,
Benjamin Mendy is going for only like 52 million, and he's going to be the most expensive defender on the market this summer.
Not even on the market of all time. He's now the near most. Dude, City are just shelling out money.
Honestly, wait. Come on, Mendy deserves it, man. He's a phenomenal player.
No, he's a great player, but of all time,
Walker's
the money is insane.
yeah, but I mean, he's one of the best defenders in the world. I mean, I think he's worth that money, honestly.
I mean, at least his name is not Walker or Stones or
I mean,
Yeah. I'm just saying, man, that
Mangala.
whole list, man, just a bunch of bones.
Walker, I don't even know if he'll start next season. Mendy, on the other hand, is phenomenal. Best left back.
Honestly, one thing I'll say about Walker is he can defend. He's not a bad defender, so I'll give him that. But man, don't be surprised if Danilo comes good next season. I don't know.
Look at you, man, just
I
being a
have a
Madrid homer, rooting
no, but
for.
it's Danilo. He's ass. Like, why would
Yeah,
they
no,
even?
I think that. Wait, let's just end Neymar right
If
here.
he's asked, why should we not be surprised?
Because I just have, bro. Like, remember Danilo clips on YouTube before he signed for Madrid? Like, this man looked like a mixture of Dani Alves and Cafu. So surely he has something about him. I
Yeah.
don't know. And he's a great athlete. So that could only help him in the Premier League. I don't know, man. I have a feeling that he definitely won't be as bad as he was at Madrid.
Danilo looks like one of them 60s Harlem cats with like a zoot suit, I don't know. I just thought that.
More like 40s. What are you saying?
Man, he was. I
Wrong.
don't even know how I'm like supporting him because his time at Madrid was just. I mean, from his first game, I think his first friendly was against Inter.
Yeah.
I can't even remember. Maybe it was Inter, but from the first moment, he was shocking until his last game, which was just crazy.
Yeah.
No, he's a terrible player, but no, I mean, what am I saying? He's a good player. I think that I don't know. What are you saying for you think Danilo or Walker will start next season?
Walker, because he's proven in the Premier League. I mean, Pep would trust him more. I think he also.
Unlike Walker.
I think he just had his best season, just more confidence. Danilo's still low on confidence. But I think Pep loves his fullbacks, so I think both of them will get a lot of minutes. Pep will rotate.
I agree. Yeah. So
yeah.
how's it looking like for not just how's it looking like for the Alexis deal to PSG? I came out and said that he feels that Alexis isn't going anywhere. He's not going to PSG.
But that was before the news that Alexis was in Paris, right?
Oh, he's in Paris?
Yeah, from what I understand, Alexis is in a hotel in downtown Paris right now. That's the latest I heard. Like, I think it was last night.
Yeah. Do you guys want to talk a bit of preseason? I know it's preseason, but
I wanted to do one thing actually. I wanted to the Mercato overall because I was just like thinking about this and I mean not many teams have actually had great transfer markets. A lot of money is being spent, but I mean the only team I could say that has had a great Mercato is maybe AC Milan, and
No.
PSG if they get this Neymar deal.
Bayern have had a fantastic window, in my opinion.
But James is a good player, but then he's not a Ribery or Robin replacement. So that's
Yeah,
definitely not a bad window. But especially in the Premier League, like look at City. For me, City's windows being a bit overrated. I don't think their window has been great. United, same thing.
well,
Chelsea,
City and United both have more work to be done, though.
well,
I
that's
think,
my point. But when you look at, for example, Mourinho's press conference, it doesn't look like they're getting. I mean, if they get Matic, it looks like it might be Matic, and that's it, and that's their window closed.
Look, United have exposed themselves. Weak players in the market.
bro, you
When
were,
you're
bro,
when your transfer targets are Perisic, Matic, in the same fucking market, in the same fucking atmosphere where another club is looking at Neymar and Alexis Sanchez. Come on. Like y'all embarrassing yourselves
I
out
mean,
here, man.
let's assume that United actually
timeline because of
get.
Lukaku scoring in a preseason game, bro. Like, who are you to talk?
Yeah, I mean,
Wait,
let's
what?
assume that Mourinho targets, right? Let's assume that Mourinho lands Matic, which looks close, and let's assume that he gets Perisic.
Yeah,
Which is
That's still
still
that's still a bad window. So
bad
it's not
window.
a good window at all.
I like I like Lindelof a lot. He's the only player who I'm like, yeah, Lindelof is gonna be like he's gonna be one of the best.
Look, man, I'm just gonna be real, man. The United contingent, the United in these streets, man. Lindelof looking like weak sauce, bro.
Nah,
He was looking weak, bro, against LA Galaxy and Real Salt Lake.
he's good. He's
He
got
but
was
I was just
he was seen
watching
as the weakest link.
I was watching a Mourinho press conference, and he was just so confident about him. Like he was like, "Oh,
Yeah, he
he
did. He said,
plays in."
he said he plays in Liga NOS and he watches that every weekend. He
Every
watches the
weekend, yeah.
Portuguese league. Yep.
yeah. I mean,
And you got to trust him with center backs.
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah, I understand. But yeah, he just looked good on the ball, but he just looked weak, in physical battles and whatnot.
I mean, yeah. Look, United have for the first time in a while have actually some great center back depth. Lind, Rojo, Bailey, Lindelof. They don't need to worry
I'm
about
sorry, I can't hear you.
they. Okay, United for the first time in a while have great center back depth. They've got Blind, Rojo, Bailey, Lindelof. They need to worry about their midfield though, because to have Pogba next to two clowns in Herrera and Matic, yikes! That's gonna be tough.
Look, man, Matic is a Premier League winner. Let's show some respect. First
Dude,
of all.
so
Secondly, with Ander Herrera,
oh my god, do not praise Herrera on my time about that.
Herrera, he's a winner, man. He's just a battler.
Oh my god.
Dog, you just asked, bro. I'm just fucking around, dude. I fucking hate Herrera, man. Oh, he's so.
I mean, so am I right or am I just crazy? Like,
Can someone explain? Can someone actually explain to me why Herrera is so highly rated?
United.
The only progressive pass he has in his locker is the pass out to the fullback, to the right back.
Yeah. When he's
Not even the
coming
left
from
back. The pass out to the right. That's
when he
it. And then
opens his body, right?
he has that weak ass turn he does in midfield. You know that touch? He does it all the fucking time.
Are you talking about the pass where he opens up his body from the left when he's coming from the left and he opens up his body? He switches it to the fullback. Not even like a high switch. It's always on the ground.
Yeah, always on the ground. He's always playing that pass. It's to Valencia. He's a Valencia merchant. That's what he is.
And then people compare him to Xavi after that.
Yeah, but what he excels at, what Herrera excels at, is final third pressure. He's really good at winning the ball high up the pitch. But how many midfielders in European football can do that? I'm
Many.
pretty sure there are a lot of fucking midfielders that can do that. No, how can you be a Spanish midfielder and you're best off the ball than on it?
Exactly. But
Like that shit is crazy to me.
it's insane.
But
Yeah.
guys, am I like going? Am I right? This.
I think you're being too harsh on City because City signed a great goalkeeper in Ederson. They signed one of the best players in the world in Bernardo Silva. They've had a great transfer in my opinion. And if they get Mendy as well, I mean, look, City have spent what like 7 million in like the past 5 years on fullbacks, which is pretty pathetic. I mean, they needed to have. It's not even just the arrivals that have made it such a great window. It's also the departures. Joe Hart, Sanya, Kolarov, all of the Deadwood leaving. I mean,
But is I mean, I just that like okay, they got in terms of right backs. I'd say they upgraded, but barely. Left back, I'll give
well,
you that. Definitely, that's an upgrade. And then they upgraded behind the striker where they didn't really have to. I mean, Bernardo is a really good signing, but they need another center back in my opinion, and the DM maybe. So a goalkeeper, that's an upgrade. I'll give you that as well. But I just feel that they really need a center back and a defensive midfielder, and they're just I don't see any links to center backs or DMs, which worries me.
I wonder who though, because they definitely need. I definitely think that they're gonna after they announce Danilo and Mendy. I still think they're going to sign at least one defender. I mean, I think that unless Mangala stages, which I doubt.
You know what
Are
I
you
think they're
guys
gonna do?
noticing? Oh wait,
But
I just wanted to say.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, go
sorry.
ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, are you guys noticing like just a heavy emphasis on just more of a transition game than possession?
yeah, definitely.
Because Abdul, you were talking about City getting that defensive midfielder, or I guess that regista,
Yeah.
and it looks like Pep is just going to forego that and stick with what he has. His conventional midfielders, like
I
his.
don't actually mean Regista though. I just mean just another DM in there. Be,
Okay. Well, they have
just be,
three. They already have three of those. They have Gundogan when he's healthy, Yaya Toure, Fernandinho. I think they just maybe need a Fernando
um,
replacement because they
I
sold Fernando.
Wait,
yeah,
But
that's my point because for me, I don't look at Yaya. I mean, when you play Yaya there, you are. It's just. I get it. Yeah, I mean, you could play him higher up the pitch. At the same time, he won't press. If you play him
no, he
a
can't
bit.
play. He doesn't have the legs to even play there anymore.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. But so you think Gundogan, Fernandinho, but that's the issue then. Then you're one Fernandinho injury away from not having one player in midfield that can actually
That's the
defend
thing.
or
It
play
seems
off
like
the
Pep
ball.
is. I don't know. It seems Pep is
wait,
changing. I
Fernando
think
hasn't
Gundogan.
been.
Gundogan is very good tactically, wouldn't you say?
He is.
He's a good. You
But
can't.
would
Fernando,
you trust him like as your DM when you're like when the players are playing in front of him are like Silva, Bernardo, play like they're just not that great off the
They'll have to
ball.
track as well. They'll have their own defensive
But
duties as well.
because let's be honest, that was the issue last year. Like against, why did they lose to Monaco? They had no midfield against Monaco. There was literally no one offering in that away game, or even both games. But like especially that away game, like it was so easy to play through their lines.
That's the thing. In these early away games, have you noticed Pep really starts poorly in these away
Yeah,
games? Again, with
yeah.
Bayern, against Atleti, they concede early. Against Madrid, they concede early. Against Barca at the Camp Nou, they conceded early. Against Monaco, at Monegasque, in their own stadium, they conceded pretty damn early too. In fact, before Mbappe's first goal, Mbappe had a 1v1 opportunity like 2 or 3 minutes prior.
Yeah,
Because when the game is hectic in the beginning, when both sides are at full capacity, and the middle of the pitch is just clogged. City were literally just trying to play out, and Silva was not dropping. Pep was basically playing with 2 number 10s in midfield and a DM. And
We literally
that's
talked
just
about
not
this.
going to work. Yep, that's just not going to work at this level.
You can go
It
back
doesn't
to the
take a rocket
podcast.
scientist to know this. Yep.
You could go back to the podcast. I think it was maybe the fourth podcast, third podcast. Anyways, like one of the ones from the beginning, and we literally talked about this. Like I think we even predicted this before the game, and it
Mm-hmm.
literally happened. And
Yeah.
that was the downfall of Pep, because it's just you have too many players that are too similar, and when you do that in midfield, it's just death. You know, suicide. You're just gonna end up.
Could
You're
you
gonna get the same
argue?
result.
Could you argue for, I guess, redundancy in Silva and Bernardo being in the same 11?
I mean, dude, it's Pep. You never know what you're gonna get.
Yeah. It'll be interesting. It's very interesting how Silva's progressed into this. I don't know. Is Silva gonna up his
I'm not sure
I
if
guess
there
his
are
energy levels?
I
Is he
don't
gonna become a full-time controller
There
now, like what
feel like
Santi Cazorla was?
that's the thing, you know. Except maybe De Bruyne.
Sorry, I couldn't hear either.
There are no real like guaranteed starters except maybe De Bruyne in this City team. I think, which is interesting because I mean I don't know. There's no real star. I mean, De Bruyne is probably the best player, but I mean,
No,
how
that's a good point.
do you think City will line up? I mean, I'm trying to wrap my head around it because they haven't signed a single center back. They haven't signed a single defensive midfielder. But I still like their window, especially if they get Benjamin Mendy, and
I think what Pep's gonna do is he's gonna play almost something like a 4-4-2, but his fullbacks, it's gonna be like the opener last season against Sunderland, where the fullbacks tuck in for defensive cover, and there's gonna be width on both sides, and I think De Bruyne is gonna be in the middle. I think we're gonna see De Bruyne, especially after watching him in the City game. I think we're gonna see De Bruyne transition into more, almost like a central midfielder.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Man, that Sunderland game sold so many dreams.
Like Lampard-esque, where he's gonna develop his game a little more from deep.
Yeah. And we kind of saw signs of that against. I think we talked about it in the podcast. That same podcast you were echoing back, the Monaco game
Against Monaco, yeah.
Yeah, he went back and he absolutely just dominated the game for like 20 to 25 minutes or so.
Dude, what a player! What a player!
I don't know. He might move there. Another player that I saw in preseason. I can't hate, man. When I see greatness, I just call it. I just call it like it is. Liverpool today looked absolutely unreal.
Who do they?
Coutinho from deep and Salah.
Oh, my boy Salah.
Dude, they were all just balling.
West Brom, right?
I think it was Leicester. They played. Now, think about that though.
Palace.
Liverpool.
It was Palace today, right? Today was Palace. Last week was no. Today was Leicester. My bad.
Yeah, Leicester. Going forward, Liverpool have it all. They really do.
No. Oh yeah, but what about when you get to the Champions League and you gotta play Lovren Matip as your back line?
And
no,
freaking Klein, Milner.
Let's assume they got Let's assume they get Van Dijk.
Okay.
So Van Dijk, Matip. That's a pretty good center back duo.
It is.
The fullbacks are poor, but okay, let's ignore that. Let's assume they get Keita.
Yeah, dude, Liverpool Anfield nights are gonna be no joke. in Champions
But
League.
imagine if they don't get Keita.
But exactly, that's what I'm trying to say, right? What if Liverpool don't get Kate? What if they don't get Van Dijk? What if they end up getting, and just shocking signings because
You'd expect that Van Dijk goes there because apparently reports are saying that he's um he's training alone away from the
but
team.
that's what I was about to say, man. I have a feeling that Van Dijk is gonna end up at City.
That'll be insane.
I
Van
mean,
Dyke company back on.
Abdul, that's actually a good. I've actually thought about that, and yet, like, I mean, I mean, there have been like no rumors about Van Dijk to City, but I've always thought of that as a possibility because, look, I mean, City have what 3 center backs now, maybe 4 if they keep Mangala, but none of them are really proven. Right? I mean, Cole Bundy is, but he's so injury prone. That would turn out to be a great signing in my opinion. It really would. And I mean,
You guys
Yeah, I
see,
mean,
City hijacking that?
mm, I could
I can
see.
see it, man. I can see it.
Yeah, why not? I mean, it wouldn't be the first time.
I mean, the thing
Yeah.
about Liverpool is, yes, you've got the attack. It's dynamic. It's you even upgraded. It's gonna be amazing, right? But if they don't get a center, if they don't get defenders, and let's not paper over the cracks. Like they don't just need a center back. I mean, we're just being nice here, but they need fullbacks as well.
Mhm.
So if they don't get some defenders and a midfielder, they're not doing anything. I'm sorry,
Yeah.
like, um, I think people the way they play is just exciting, right? So when you watch them play, you just start thinking like, imagine if they actually had this player instead of Emre Can, or imagine if they had that player instead of Henderson. But if they don't get those players, they're probably gonna drop out of the top four, and they won't make it out of the groups in the Champions League.
Mhm.
Is that really?
Like
I
this
think
current,
what they have at present. I think what they have at present is easily good enough to go past the group stages.
good enough for
Um,
what? No, I disagree. Well, it depends on
First or
the group, and
second.
it depends.
Yeah, it depends on the
Shit
group.
happens, right?
Leicester went past the group stages. Come on, dude.
But that
Like,
was like the
don't
easiest
don't
group
don't
in Champions League
sidestep
history.
it. Like,
That
a
that was the
lot of
easiest group in Champions League history, though. Like, and they were the EPL champions, so they were in tier one. So Liverpool are not going to get a group that is that easy. I think Liverpool are in tier
Liverpool don't
three.
even make the Champions League. I mean, if they could get knocked out by several different teams.
as long I don't know. I just when was the last time an English team got knocked out? No, or
Was it
Yeah,
Everton?
Everton in what 2006?
yeah,
That was a
I
long
think so.
ass. I
Yeah,
think it was Sevilla Real. That was yeah. So
yeah.
that was a long ass time ago.
They lost.
So
It was the
you just
Villarreal team
kind
that
of
made
like
the
you just think
semis,
of it
right?
as they lost. Sorry.
It was the Villarreal team that made the semis and lost to
Yeah,
Arsenal, right?
with Raquelme and Marco
Yeah,
Senna, and then
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I just think no one has really. You look at Tottenham. They haven't done anything. Um, Arsenal, you're getting Lacazette, but you're losing Alexis. You're not getting better.
is
Yeah,
continuity underrated these days? Tottenham
I
have
don't
kept
believe
that
in.
core, but they do need reinforcements. That's not undeniable. But would you think? Do you think they need reinforcements across their front line with what they have at
Honestly,
present?
for Tottenham, I just think they need like a Mahrez, and that's cool. If they get a Mahrez and then they replace Walker, I think that's enough.
I think that yeah, Balde, Keita, Suso. There's a few that are more than adequate to.
Yeah, but I hear
But
it's
where do they
Keita.
go? But where do they go? I mean, if we're gonna assume, let's just assume that Pochettino sticks with his 3-4-3, what do you do then? If you do get a good winger, do you play Eriksson in midfield? Do you switch to a 4-3-3? Or, I mean, what do you do?
I don't think he's going 3-4-3 long term. I just think I
Yeah,
think he's
he's
flexible. I think he just switches. Yeah, I think he can play 3-4-3 one game. He can play
that's
4-2-3 one the
4-5-1.
other game.
Yeah,
Yeah, doesn't really. I think he play. Yeah, he did it last season. He was switching a lot last season. I don't think it's his long
but
term
it's
plan. I
usually
just think
that double pivot. He'll have that 4-5-1, that double pivot, and then the attacking midfield three all behind Harry Kane with behind Ericsson on the right and Son on the left, maybe I think, or whoever. But yeah,
yeah, but Tottenham are
Tottenham.
one of the few teams that don't really need a lot. Like if they just get a wide player that's consistent with end product, then that's good, and just another right back, I think, and that would be a good market.
They need depth. I think that's the problem. Also, as well as not having that like extra creative outlet. But I think that I mean there's a big difference between Tottenham's XI and their bench. That's where they really need to make some moves. And I mean,
Yeah,
what have Tottenham even done this summer though? Excuse me. I mean,
they
have they?
signed no one actually.
They've
No.
literally signed no one. I mean, and you know that it is true that Tottenham have a great squad, but I mean, come on, Levy needs to make some moves. I've heard they're
Who do you think is adequate?
I heard they're I think they'll get Ross Barkley. Which I guess will mean they won't sign another midfielder after that.
This is what
Um,
I don't get, right? Like why Ross Barkley when Mars is available?
I think Mares will go to Roma personally.
And Barkley's English. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
mean, why is Mares like what? I mean, am I dumb or
I
is
agree with
Mares a
that. Mares,
great player?
Dude, Mars fucked it up not taking that Monaco deal. Just go to Monaco, have that one amazing season, killer season at
no,
Monaco,
I think it was
and
Leicester
then
because they didn't want to accept such a low fee. Or maybe I don't know. I mean, Monaco. To be fair, Monaco probably wouldn't have paid his wage. Okay. Yeah, well, I guess it was.
I think I heard the reason was they were apart on wages.
Yeah, no, that is true, dude. That would have been so perfect. Mares to replace Bernardo. I mean, and while we're on the subject of talking about wingers and like what clubs need wingers, Monaco are gonna be fucked if they don't buy someone to replace Bernardo. I mean, I don't think they'll sell Neymar, but I mean, if you go in the season with your only right wingers as what like Mbula, Boshilia, and Ronnie
All
Lopez,
talented players.
all talented
All
players,
talented players.
need something more. We need a little bit more.
Hello?
Yeah,
Oh, I couldn't hear you there.
you just need a little more. I think. I don't know. I hope they do repeat though. I love this business so far. They loaned out Jordi Gaspar, so maybe they'll get another. I don't know. Well, I guess if Mendy does leave, whatever, it should be interesting. I think that I like their business so far though. Tilo Mendes, um, Gaspar, yeah, good shit.
Yeah.
So if you were
Um,
to pick one team to win, if you were to pick a team to win the Premier League right now, who would it be?
Manchester
Just right
United.
now.
Manchester United, get the fuck out of here.
How is it not United?
It
They
just
have
isn't.
the best. They have the best goalkeeper in the league. They
Mm,
have the best defender in the league.
what?
They have the best midfielder in the league.
In the
They
league.
have the best number 9 in the league. It's a clean
The
sweep.
real, the real R9,
4-0.
actually.
That's a clean sweep. Clean sweep.
You're on way too many Facebook forums for United.
Nah,
I,
dude.
no,
It
best
just is
goalkeeper
what it is.
probably the best defender in the league. Azpilicueta maybe. Best midfielder in the league. Yeah, probably Pogba. best number 9 in the league is.
Kane.
It was Diego Costa. Now it might be Kane. I'm not sure. I think it's Gabriel Jesus by the end of the season. Honestly, this kid's not good. He's not good.
Dude, Gabriel Jesus is the tap-in god. So
Boy.
I don't understand.
Man, he's gonna eat, man, with Mendy, like those Mendy driven crosses.
Dude, why didn't City go for Aubameyang? If they needed,
Aguero and Jesus are better. Okay.
I think Aubameyang's better for the City system than Aguero.
Who's even gonna buy Aubameyang now that like Belotti will probably go to Milan and Morata is
He's going to China. He's going to China. That's what I heard.
what a waste.
Man, City's width is about to be incredible. They're about to whip so many crosses in with Mendy, Walker, Kevin De Bruyne. We already know he's a crossing merchant as well.
Yeah.
Dude, this is about to be a different Pep team.
We always say that though. We kind of always.
Man, I'm picking. This is tough.
How can you
But-
say City and how can you say Chelsea when they lost Diego Costa? And Hazard's out for the first 3 to 4 weeks of
Bro,
the season.
Hazard is just out for 2 weeks, brother. Like he'll be back. He's out for 2 games. He'll be back after the 3 games after the international
Let me see
break.
if you're right. I'm just about to Google it just to confirm.
After the international break, yeah.
That's true. I think. Yeah, I would go with.
He has a fracture in his ankle. How long is that?
I don't know. Chelsea fans told me he's back after the first international break, the one in September.
We'll see.
I don't know. I mean, it's honestly tough. Okay, I guess teams that for sure, like if I was looking at it right now, teams that for sure would have no chance are Liverpool, and no, I think teams that could win it are City, United, Chelsea, and Tottenham. I don't know, man. I just think City or Chelsea. Like Tottenham, the thing about Tottenham is like, if they just had that special player like Amares with Kane, I'd honestly pick them. But I don't know. I don't see your City like.
I just don't see how it cannot be the team with the best midfielder in the league, the number 9, who's going to get you 25 plus goals in the season. That is a recipe for success
Cancer
in the Premier League. This is the Premier League we're talking about.
It is cancer. That's what I'm talking about. Even if you guys did have all that shit, you don't have a coach that's as good as Pep or Conte.
That's absolute nonsense. Because
oh my god,
who owns the Premier League? Who owns it's Jose Mourinho. How many leagues has he? How many times has he won the Premier League? He's used to this. He knows what it takes.
I mean, Mourinho career-wise, Mourinho is better than Pep, at least in my opinion. Pep is better right now. Mourinho's going through a tough time, but if you were comparing like career to career, I mean, Mourinho's better. I know Zach is gonna say otherwise.
we should do that for the next episode.
Yeah.
For the next episode, we should debate Pep Mourinho. Seriously.
Yeah, we should probably do. Man, Mourinho looks really depressed though. Like maybe it's his father, like passing away and stuff.
I think so too. I think that's kind of worn on him.
I mean, he doesn't even look like he's interested. I mean, I watched his last press conference and he just looks really, really, really down. Like next level stuff.
Crazy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. So that's been it for the FT podcast.
No questions. Okay.
No, we forgot to put them up.
We didn't do.
All right.
Yeah, we forgot.
So yeah, we're sorry about
that. That's been it for the FT podcast. We'll catch y'all next week. Be sure to subscribe to us on iTunes.
Yeah.
And download our shit on Podbean. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.
Peace out.
Good night.
Buenos noches. All right.